The New York Knicks. That's where I'm going to start. The New York Knicks have done it again. Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. The Utah Jazz were going to move Donovan Mitchell. That was an open secret. We knew that. The Knicks need a superstar. That was the most obvious thing in the world. They've needed a superstar for like 3 decades now. Donovan Mitchell is from the area. Go New York, go New York, go. Donovan Mitchell is from the area. He played AAU ball in Manhattan. Legend has it, his first dunk came on a hoop in the city. His father works for the Mets. Donovan reportedly really wanted Phil Jackson to select him in the draft.
For real?
For real. Ever since Mitchell trade rumors first surfaced, Mitchell has wanted the Knicks. Knicks fans have wanted Mitchell in the worst way imaginable. And yet, somehow, some way, Donovan Mitchell wakes up this morning as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Go New York, go New York, go. This guy woke up a Cavalier, and you know why? Because Cleveland did what New York would not do. They went all in for Mitchell. They sent 3 players, 3 future first-round picks, 2 pick swaps to Utah. I mean, sure, that's a hell of a lot to give up. And Danny Ainge is sitting on a pile of picks in Utah, and he's cackling. But I love this. I love this for Cleveland. Because like Wade Boggs, on a cross-country flight, the Cavs are absolutely loaded, allegedly. Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley. The oldest of those 3 is 24. They've got a head coach in J.B. Bickerstaff who doubled their win total from year 1 to year 2. And now they've got a 3-time All-Star who can take over a playoff game and win it single-handedly, if you need him to. You know, the kind of guy the Knicks have not had for years. The kind of guy the Knicks have been looking for years. The kind of guy the Knicks have had to have for years. And he was right there. And he wanted to be one of them. Yeah, Cleveland beats them to it. Cleveland is going all in. They're not looking to be good. They're looking to be great. And at the same time, they know who they are. I mean, let's be real. Fairly or unfairly, Cleveland is not a free agent destination. Joakim Noah said that more than a decade ago, and the fact is, it still holds true today. It's all factories. Will never not be amazing. You want to talk about a take that ages well. It's all factories. Cleveland, the thing is, like, I've got your back. I will always have your back. I love you. I will always love you. But that doesn't mean that I can't say that that's not awesome, because that is. You may not like it. It may not be true. It might be true. That is incredible. That ages so well. Better than any fine wine. But fact is, right now, I'm not looking for Joe Noah to come back and apologize. Actually, I am looking for Joe Noah to come back and apologize. Hey, Joe, come to find out, Cleveland is cool. It is.
Cleveland.
It's hot. You know why it's hot and why it's cool? Because the hottest, wait for it, I'm going to say this. I mean, bleep is crazy. Yesterday I said the Mets are saving Major League Baseball. Today I'm saying the hottest young team in the association resides in bleeping Cleveland. Yeah, I said it. This is for you. And yet again, the most self-sabotaging organization in the association resides at MSG. Why don't you raise a banner for that? Put it right next to that Billy Joel banner. The Knicks are the diarrhea of the association. They thought they had a shot at LeBron. They thought they had a shot at KD. You can go down the list of superstars that they thought they had a shot at when they were free agents. And then you can look at how utterly delusional and diarrheal they've been. And how oblivious the Knicks have been about their chances of getting any of them. But in this case, incredibly enough, they had a chance to get a star, a guy who desperately wanted to be there. And they still could not get it done. They still took a dump in their pants. Instead, now they're going to double down on R.J. Barrett and the rest of that crew that bottomed out in the second half of last season. And yes, I know the Knicks. I know they're going to spin that they didn't want to give up that many picks. They didn't want to give up that many picks to have a backcourt that's too undersized. If this were any other organization, I might even buy that. But not with the Knicks. They don't get the benefit of the doubt. They have no cred. They have no clout. These are the Knicks. These are the Knicks we're talking about, not the Spurs. And as far as not being willing to part with the picks, don't act like, save the picks for what? For who? Let's not act like the Knicks front office is Golden State's front office when it comes to building through the draft. We're not talking about a team with a history of drafting guys like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. It's a team with a history of drafting guys like Kevin Knox and Frankie Smokes. And those weren't just random picks either. They used top 10 picks on those guys. What's the point of keeping draft picks if you're going to use them on an Ante Kakumpo, who's not a Giannis? They're going all in on RJ Barrett. And while he's been good, the jury is still out on whether or not he can be great. And is he really somebody you can build around? Is Obi Toppin? This is what Rick Pitino had to say. Pitino is the former Knicks coach, of course, and he was Mitchell's coach at Louisville. Rick Pitino said a few days ago, and I quote, "Donovan loves the Knicks. Donovan loves being around his mom, sister, and dad. Donovan would treasure being a Knick." End of quote. Finally, a star who would actually treasure being a Knick, who actually wants to be a Knick. And what do the Knicks do? They make sure he's not a Knick. Normally, I would say you don't give up the entire team to get Donovan Mitchell, but really, what are you giving up? A 37-win team. The hell are they really giving up anyway? They haven't had a winning record since 2013. This is not a case of it ain't broke, don't fix it. This thing's been broke forever. So as much as I criticize the Lakers, and believe me, the Lakers deserve a lot of heat, the Knicks deserve so much more because they're so much worse. They're a billion times worse. When the Lakers had a chance to get a much-needed superstar, they didn't blink. They went out and they got Anthony Davis. Say what you want about AD, but they got him and they won a championship. The Knicks did the exact opposite. They had a guy who desperately wanted to be there, who would inject life into their fan base and give that fan base a reason to believe, and then they puked all over themselves. They actually diarrheaed all over themselves, like they always do. Only the Knicks could make sure that 2 + 2 equals -4, because not only did they completely whiff on getting a superstar who desperately wanted to be there, but they let him go to another team in the East. And not just some random team in the East, but a team that is loaded with young talent. The Cavs had 2 All-Stars last year. They added a third, and Evan Mobley is going to be one in a minute. That's 4 All-Stars on the same roster, and they're young. They're everything the Knicks aren't. Young, talented, hungry, exciting. And the Knicks are everything they've always been. Dysfunctional, boring, amateur, hackish. The Knicks have been in rebuild mode for a billion years now. The Cavs have been in that same mode for about a minute, and they have already blown right past the Knicks. Finally, the Cavs could send 4 guys to play in the All-Star game, and the Knicks will be buying tickets to watch them. Donovan Mitchell could have been a Knick. He wanted to be a Knick. He would have loved it. Instead, he's another star who is not in Knicks gear, and that's why you're the Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go. Just know what your fans were saying. Just know what your fans were saying after this failure. Catastrophic failure. Go New York, go. Go New York, go New York. Go to hell. Go to hell. How you explain that to them? Like the rare star who wanted to be there. It was right there for you. Go New York, go New York, go. Go take another dump in your pants. If I were a Knicks fan, I'd be so pissed. In fact, Knicks fan, go ahead. Hit me up. Let me know how you feel. That's the best of both worlds, Alvy. Alvy and I were talking about it, and I said, Alvin, what do you think we should start with? The Knicks or the Great Equalizer? And Alvin goes, dude, why don't you just do both and make it a 40-minute segment? I said, really? He goes, no. But actually, we did get both in. Yep. 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 Yep.